growing up in South Central, the 40s, man,
hmm
what do you think was like the worst situation? Did you ever actually get shot, or what was the closest time you ever been to being shot?
Being grazed and stuff like that, or seeing my best friend at the time getting shot in his head, point blank range, and lived
Damn.
and lived and lived. Only got grazed. Lucky, only got grazed or whatever the case was. But yeah, it was a flesh wound or whatever. But he ended up getting shot in his head, side of his head, and lived.
Point blank range? That had to have been a small bullet, I take it, like a
I mean,
22.
not necessarily point blank range, but out the core, maybe like 10 feet. I call that point, that's close enough. At least no more than like 10 feet. And shot inside his head and lived. And I told him, like, bro, like, you shot me. Because I'm thinking at first, I'm thinking it's the glass from the window, because it went through the glass, like, as far as like we try to duck off in like the little stabbing instrument or whatever. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm like, nah, bro, you hit. And he like, what? And start going crazy. Like, oh, I'm shot in my head. The homie Tiny K Rock got shot in his head, point blank range. Yeah. And lived to this day. Shot in the head.
Damn, what kind
Miracle.
of complications did he have from going through that?
Uh, as far as my knowledge, none. None.
I had a friend get shot in the side of the head. It like cracked his
Yeah.
skull,
Yeah.
like in like a kind of like a circular direction, and
Yeah.
like it was.
I don't know how true it is, but they say like if you was to get shot in your head, you would want to get shot in like the lower back of your head or like the side. That's what people say. I don't know how true that is though. I don't know. That's what they say though. Cause I know like 3 or 4 people that got shot in the back of the head and still live. Like it's for not directly in the back, but like the lower back of their head
That's supposed to be
and
the
on the
toughest
side.
part.
I guess I'm assuming. I don't know, but he definitely lucky though. And I don't think he had no complications. Yeah,
Damn, that's good. Glad to
yeah,
hear that about him for sure.
yeah.
What does your family think when they find out you're in the streets? Like, I know you mentioned like a lot of your family was
hmm
already from
hmm
the hood and everything, but you said your grandma was really strict with you, and that's
Yeah.
who you were living with. So how did she take it when she found out you were going in that direction?
So first of all, my granny Bingham, that's my heart, man. So I really never. I was like, even though I was doing what I was doing on the streets, I try to keep that away from her as much as possible. But when the schools kept calling me, because I got kicked out of pretty much every middle school on the west side. So on the west side of LA. So when they see like what they fighting for that name, man, they fighting over gang stuff, like, or she'd see my book binder, with the hood struck up, and she like, what is this? Like, so she knew, but I never really like had that in her face. It wasn't until I really start going to jail, and then they start calling me by my name and like, oh, he gang banging, like, so, but yeah, all my family knew though. All my family knew. I was like, out of all the kids my age in the family, I was the only one that going to jail, and they all knew. My uncles and my aunties knew. But I guess I don't know if they really wanted to believe it or not. Like they didn't like, oh, because like I said, I was a kid. Like nobody takes a kid serious until you start shooting people or you start doing robberies or you start going to jail. Like, oh, that shit real now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or he going to YA, I get out, I'll go to when I'm 13, I'm getting out when I'm almost 18. So it's like, oh yeah, then I got out of YA. It's like I'm a grown man, like tattoos and all, so they're like, oh yeah, yeah, so
Okay, now you get older,
mhm.
and do you continue to go to jail? Do you end up going to prison?
Yeah, I got sentenced to prison at like, what, 18 or 19? Yeah, I made it there at 19 for sure. I don't know if I got sentenced at 18. I think it was 19. I got sentenced to prison. That's when I did my first bid. They gave me 3 years.
Okay, and
hmm
can you talk about what it was for?
Oh, robbery, bullshit robbery, strong on robbery, got caught, you know, took took the rap, you know, bailed somebody else out of gym, and I ended up taking the rap for it. They got out, and I just, you know, I got it.
Okay, you do 3 years, you go
hmm
to prison, but this is a little bit different than just regular YA.
Yeah, big boys.
Big boys.
Yeah.
What's the difference? What are you seeing, and how are you adapting to it?
Um, as far as YA in prison, it was a lot more. It was a lot more subtle, a lot more calmer. way more respectful, but way more treacherous at the same time. Like you know, and I learned. I had to learn. I had to learn fast. I had to learn fast. But what I will say about YA, it taught me how to like do jail time. Like, you know what I'm saying? How to sell up with, you know, with people. And, you know, 'cause that's big in prison. Like, you got to know how to sell up. You know, you have a weirdo cellie, or you just have a person who's particular in how he, you know, not I want to necessarily say how he run his cell, but how he program in the cell, you know, and that's a big thing. Like, if you're not compatible with your cellie, then, you know, that's a big problem in there. But as far as like the rules and the regulations, like the dissing, my lingo, you know what I mean? When I'm coming in, what's up, cuz? Like, woo woo, like to Dom moves, and you know, that's a form of disrespect. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the homies like, hey, bro, you know, there was a lot of stuff in there they had to lace my boots about, like, you know, like, we don't do this here, bro. That's a sign of disrespect. Like, absolutely no dissing whatsoever unless we go in there type shit, you know. So I had to get used to that. Working out every day, waking up in the morning, you know, Matt rolled up 5:30 before the doors pop, you know, locking the door, you know, all that. Been on my Usalama, you know, so yeah. So that as far as that program and being taught how to be a man, because you know, whether I looked at them dudes as father figures, it was a lot of key people that played a part in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's showing me actually how to be a man. Like, man, pull your pants up, man. We not doing it. You grown. This prison. You advertise. Like, what the you talking about? Like, you advertise. You know what that mean? Like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you showing your, man, you know, it's prison. Pull your pants up. You know what I mean? Like, tie your shoes, lace your shoes, tie your boots. I'm trying to look cool and all that with my shoes, you know, unlaced and trying to say, like, man, it's prison. You forgetting where you at right now. This prison. Tie your shoes up. You want to get knocked out your shoes? Like, nah, like, you know what I mean? So, like, things like that.